What is up, guys, and welcome back to Monoposto 2022. Although we're here to do something a little bit different today, this was a very random video idea that literally popped into my head one evening, and I thought, why not? Today, we are going to be racing on Monoposto, only I have created the MotoGP grid. This is extremely bizarre, but we're going to do a random race. We're going to drive as the Ducati of Jack Miller. And yeah, we're just going to see who would be the fastest if MotoGP riders raced as F1 cars. Obviously, there's 12 MotoGP teams, so I have had to drop 2 of the teams, which I believe are Red Bull, KTM, and I literally cannot remember what the other team was that I dropped. You guys can figure it out. But yeah, here are the cars, here are the teams that I'm using. I think they all look very, very nice indeed, especially the Ducati. That's why I chose to drive as it. But yeah, I tried to make them as realistic as possible. Here's the, all of the other driver statistics that I'm going to be using. I'm trying to make it as realistic as possible compared to last season's MotoGP, which was a pretty good one, to be fair, which resulted in Pecco Bagnaia landing his first ever title. Do I follow MotoGP then, you must be asking? Yes, I do, a bit. Nowhere near to the extent of F1, but I do like watching the highlights of the races. I do think it can be very entertaining at times. So with that said, let's just jump into today's race. We're going to be racing, as I said, as the Ducati, as Jack Miller, who is unfortunately no longer with that team, which is a big shame actually. And we're going to be going to Australia, just because Miller is Australian, and I thought, why not? So let's get into it. Very long pause while the grid auto generates, and here we are. I believe we are starting from 14th place. We're just doing a quick race, there's no qualifying. We're just going to see what I can do from here on this beautifully sunny afternoon here. Well, it's supposed to be Albert Park, but we're going to call it Phillip Island. Let's pretend. 5 red lights are on and we are underway, and once again that's not a particularly good start. As you can see on the left hand side, there's all the initials and flags of the teams. Some of the initials I had to change a little bit because otherwise, you've got Mark and Alex Marquez, you've got, the Espargaros, you've got, whoa, there's a crash! I was whittering on and we missed the crash. But yeah, it's really not been a good start. I'm being put down to 17th place, which we need to do better than that. So yeah, as I was saying, some of the initials for the drivers I've had to change a bit, but it's no big deal. We just live with what we've got, as I'm already trying to attack the Tex 3 KTM. Look at this Ducati power. We're going to try to go around the outside. Fernandez there squeezes me out, although we're hopefully going to get the cutback. We can get past him and his teammate Remy Gardner and Taka Nakagami into the last corner. Yes, we do. As we're moving on, we're back up into P14. On the very next lap, we've got Marini and Martinez in front, battling with Paul Espargaro. You can see his initials slightly different. Oh, these cars look so good, don't they, in the MotoGP liveries? But look at the slipstream, look at the Ducati power. We're really gaining, even though, Jorge Martin is part of, the same Ducati factory. There's still nothing is quicker than our car in a straight line. We're going to try go the long way around. That's not going to work for us, though, unfortunately. You might notice I'm still recovering off the back of a nasty cold. That's why I sound a bit funny. That's basically why there's been no video this week, because I really have not been well enough to commentate. I think I recorded this as long ago as Tuesday, which is why I can't really remember what happens, hence the lack of enthusiasm for the crash. Anyway, we digress. I've just got past Jorge Martin. Next up is Paul Espargaro. We get a nice exit there. We might be able to pull along the Spanish man and possibly the Italian. Luca Marini there, currently hogging the final point in the Mooney Valentino Rossi team, but he squeezes me out wide a little bit. I'm forced to put a tyre onto the grass, and unfortunately nothing else is going to come of that as we follow him through one of the, well, it's really probably the most difficult corner on the track, although really there's none of them here. It's a very straightforward circuit. We go around the outside and we're now up into the points paying positions, which is very nice. Although I'm going to pit, we're going to ditch the soft tyres, we're going to go on to a set of hards, and yeah, we're just going to take it hopefully as long as we can into the race. We will have to stop again, unfortunately, but we come out in 18th place, which is not good. However, there's lots of riders into the pit lane on the next lap, elevating me back into 11th. Unfortunately, I think we have been overcut by Marco Bezzecchi, so we're going to try and see if we can hunt him down, although he's overtaken Morbidelli first. This is going to be the first Yamaha Ducati battle of the day. Of note, I would say we're going to try and go around the outside of Franco Morbidelli here. We are indeed going to get the move done, and we're going to get super exit. We might be able to gain on Bezzecchi here as well. This could be very, very interesting. Though into the last corner, I'm going to back out and wait for the slipstream down the pit straight. Here we go. Although saying that, the Italian has got DRS himself, so it's going to be hard to make an overtake. And he's now just got past Joan Mir, the 2020 champion. And I completely make a meal of that corner there, and that's going to end any hopes I have of getting past him. And I might come under more pressure from Morbidelli. So who knows? This is just, I mean, just look at the racing we're getting. There's so many battles. It's a really close grid as we go around the outside of not one, but we might be able to get both Suzuki's here because Alex Rins not having a good exit. Bezzecchi seems to be making lots of overtakes in this race. Although, are we going to be able to use the Ducati power? Yes, we are. Look at this gaining speed on the pit straight. Although, as soon as I pull out of the slipstream, it's not going to be as effective. We're going to try and go around the outside. We make contact with Rins. We're going side by side through the first few corners. This is going to be very close. We have to leave room for the Spanish driver. In the end, I'm going to get the cutback and maybe even try a nice dive bomb here. No, I'll be patient. Sacrifice the entry. Better exit round the outside of Rins and Aleix Espargaro as well. Maybe. This is going to be very, very tight. We're going wheel to wheel with the Aprilia. We nearly lose our front wing as he cuts back across us onto the racing line. And we're going to have to wait for that move a little bit longer. I was right about Bezzecchi having good pace. He's currently set the fastest lap. As I'm going to once again try this move right round the outside of Aleix. He had a very good season this year. Worth pointing that out. And we get the move done up into 7th place, and hopefully we can look to attack Bezzecchi once again. Oh, that's very, very nice. Easy on the exit, nicely done on the ERS. Although, saying that though, he's keeping his nose in. He squeezes me onto the grass, and I spun, completely lost the car. I've completely lost the car, and we've gone backwards into the wall. Oh my word, we bottled it. Any chances we had of winning the race, and now we're out. Super. So still, although I've taken probably over a month from this game, still the AI cannot race you. Yeah, it's, oh well, we were doing quite well. Nevertheless, you can still just enjoy the action. I was going to show you the TV mode of these MotoGP cars anyway, because I think, as I say, the liveries will look absolutely spectacular. So yeah, we can just enjoy some action from the rest of this race as we're now watching Morbidelli and Joan Mir going wheel to wheel. The Suzuki goes round the outside and takes the place from the Italian. So there you go, and he's now fallen back a little bit because I think Nakagami's getting involved. So, is he going to be able to overtake the Japanese rider? We just randomly cut to an onboard for Marc Marquez. He's currently tailing the field on the LCR Honda. Or what it's supposed to be anyway, an accurate representation of it. We're now on the Tech 3 KTM of Raul Fernandez. I believe he was a rookie last season. I could be mistaken. I don't follow MotoGP anywhere near as religiously as F1. That was a nice onboard. That Suzuki looks good actually, as does Enea Bastianini on this Gresini racing car. That light purple, I think I really managed to get that livery quite well represented in this game, especially now of course that you can tweak the surfaces to make it a little bit lighter, a little bit darker. And there you go, look how good that looks in the afternoon sunlight. It really does look nice. As now Quartararo, of course, his name was going to come up at some point. Rins has managed to jump him, although Marc Marquez is the man who is currently in the lead. My favourite rider. So hopefully he can go on and win this goddamn race because he really needs to. It would be lovely to see him win another World Championship for Repsol Honda. I don't know if it's going to happen. I feel like Quartararo and Bagnaia are just too strong at the moment. But we'll see. Never say never. You can never ever underestimate him. As we're just riding on board with Jorge Martin. There's not a lot else of action happening in terms of up and down the field. We're just getting some nice flyby shots, and now Quartararo is going to attack Rins, although he goes a little bit onto the grass there, so that's going to set the Frenchman back a little bit. The 2021 world champion now, though, is going to get the exit, and he does go to the inside of the Suzuki, and Quartararo is up into second place, and it looks like Marc Marquez is into the pit lane. There you go, you can see his car leaving the pit exit, so Quartararo's gone back to being the net race leader, and he's being chased by Enea Bastianini. Marquez now has the fastest lap of the race. He's come out just in front of Bagnaia. Also in that group fighting for the win is Zarco, so that could be a little bit interesting as Bagnaia is gaining on the Spanish driver. Through the middle sector they go. Is the Italian going to try and make a move? It doesn't look like he's quite close enough. I think Marquez is going to be okay for the time being. He's managed to drop the gap to about 9/10. So it looked as if Bagnaia got a little bit close at one point. As we've gone back to the tail end of the field. This is Remy Gardner. Oh, back to the midfield. It's Espargaro and Bezzecchi now going wheel to wheel. The game keeping on jumping forward through the different riders, through the different camera angles, and we're seeing a great battle here. This is a fight for P6, so These two drivers really going at it. It looks as if Bezzecchi went right round the outside and he's going to take the place as Alex Rins was battling Morbidelli again. Meanwhile, at the front, we're on to the final lap of the race and Quartararo just checked out. The gap's gone from being about 4 tenths to over 2 seconds, so the grid's really kind of strung out in the last few laps since everyone's made their pit stops, but we've seen some pretty interesting racing here. I would say, as we're just following Zarco now, he's looking to bring home a very decent P5 for the Pramac team. That purple livery looks really good, actually. To be honest, I didn't really like it on a bike, but on a car, I think that combination looks really, really nice. So, at least it's given me some ideas for Monoposto in the future, I suppose, as Espargaro does get back past Bezzecchi, and we're watching Marquez defending from Bagnaia on the final lap, although Quartararo is going to win the Australian Grand Prix. Bastianini second. To be fair, he cut the gap down to less than a second again on the last lap. Marc Marquez completes the podium ahead of Bagnaia, Zarco, Bezzecchi re-overtaking Espargaro, Joan Mir 8th, Alex Rins 9th, and Morbidelli getting the final points as we're watching Alex Marquez, the final rider in the field, coming up to cross the line now. And that will end today's video. Let's something different. Let me know if you enjoyed it. I really hope you did. If you did, please be sure to like, share and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and join my Discord server. Both links are in the description below. And yeah, I might try Formula E next. That's another idea that I had. So, who knows? Be sure to stick around for more of these crazy ideas. And I'll see you again soon.